Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We told you that we would have a little bit of bonus content for you, so we're going to get into some Karen
Bonus.
bonus. We're going to get some Karen and Chad stories. Oh, and also Christmas is coming up.
Hmm.
Christmas will come out before our next Monday's episode comes out. Next week we're going to talk about manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
And the day that this episode is being released, Heather and I are actually doing a manifestation ritual.
Oh,
And we are
yay.
going to be sharing that with you guys next week. So we did record a little bit of extra, and so let's go ahead and jump right into that.
So, just to add on to some of the experiences that we've been talking about, I went ahead and I think, Jaren, you might have a couple as well. Did a little bit of finding some funny stories or interesting stories, to say the least, of what we call Karens and Chads in the workplace.
Yes, or like Susan's out in the
Ah,
wild.
Susan's.
So do you want to start first, or do you want me to go first? So I only
Um,
got. We did ask the audience if they were
yeah.
interested in sending in any stories.
Yeah.
We only did get one story,
Okay. Well, let's share
that's
though.
that's still totally okay. I mean, I'm sure some people are really nervous about accidentally. You guys don't know us well enough to
Probably feel
trust,
like it's okay to do that,
yeah,
but
to trust to know that we're not going
pl-
to say any names if you don't want to.
sure. But please know, in the future, if you guys do ever send us any kind of content, whether that's for a specific episode or if there's something you want us, you're like, hey, if you guys ever do another one of these and you want to like send something in, like even about Karens in the workplace after the fact, and we end up doing another episode, we can bring it back. Um, we can keep you anonymous, and we can also leave a blank for the name of the workplace as well. No
Yeah.
one has to know where you're located or anything like that. So we do take, obviously moving forward in the podcast, and we've already done this, we do take privacy really seriously. And
Hmm.
so if people don't want to be mentioned, but they would like to still share, we definitely encourage that, and we will definitely respect anything you ask of us and reply to that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
so this is our solo listener story that we got, and
awesome.
they are a female identifying listener who has asked to remain anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
So pronouns she, her. Hi, Heather and Jaren. I just wanted to start off by saying I love listening to you guys every week.
Oh, thank you.
Jaren has asked me to send in any stories that I could think of for the upcoming week, and I wanted to share a story with the two of you about Knife Guy.
Oh,
I'm not.
that sounds interesting.
Yes. And she is not going to include any actual names.
Okay. Knife guy.
Knife Guy. The first time Knife Guy came in, I first noticed him when he was placing his order in the cafe because he was taking a long time trying to explain what he wanted to the person taking his order. After several minutes of explaining, he finally seemed satisfied and paid for his drinks. He waited for my coworker making in-store beverages to start making his and asked her to let him know when she got to his ticket. When she did, he came up and started hanging over the bar area, explaining to her in order in which he wanted to put the ingredients into the cup and the
Okay.
way that he wanted all of his toppings distributed.
Oh boy.
He ended up asking her to start over on his drinks at least twice, and I
Oh
could
no.
tell that she was getting frustrated. So, back to the whole all I have to do is complain and I get what I want, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he took the drinks and things seemed fine. The next time he came in several weeks later, it was the same ordeal with the drinks being explained at the register, him asking the employee, a different person from last time, to tell him when she got to his drinks. Then hanging over the bar area again, explaining the order to her. However, this time he had a folding knife, like a pocket switchblade. She says, I think this is the term, but I don't really know anything about knives. I'm a mace kind of girl. Same.
Love it.
Same. I want to be able to hurt you from a distance, keep you at a distance.
Yeah, yeah, don't even come near me.
He had this knife that he was playing with, flipping it open and closed while he was hanging over the bar area talking to my coworker, kind of like in her face. I know, pretty
Uh,
intimidating, right? She was obviously concerned about the knife in her face, and he noticed and said, Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you, which just made her more freaked out.
oh,
Thankfully,
that's
he ended up
creepy.
getting his drinks and leaving without anything worse happening.
Knife Chad.
After knife Chad, after knife Kevin,
Knife
knife
Kevin.
Kevin. After the knife incident, there were some discussions slash instructions on what to do if this gentleman, as we now know as Knife Guy, came in again, mainly to tell him to stop A, harassing the employees about how to make his stuff, B, stop playing with the knife in the store, and C, stop hanging over the bar area. I think those are very logical.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even have to go about, honestly, in my opinion, it would just be like, hey, like, don't be flipping that shit around in here, and don't be giving my kids a hard time.
Yeah.
Also, stay off the equipment. So, but yeah, she said that in the nice, like, this is the corporate nice thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, no, I'm not fucking
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah.
Maybe a month after the knife incident, I saw Knife Guy in the store again, once again ordering his drinks, but this time a manager made the issues in the past clear, okay, and worked with him to try to get everything he wanted on the order onto his ticket so he didn't have to harass any of the employees making his beverage. Just to be sure he didn't, one of our former managers swapped with the employee making the in-store beverages to make sure they didn't have to deal with him. When they called out his first drink being done, he was so upset because it wasn't the size he wanted. They told him that they could make it for him in a larger size, but instead of waiting for the remake or asking for a refund or doing anything reasonable, he left the drink on the counter, walked towards the door, turned around, walked back to his drink, and dumped it all over the counter and the floor and left angrily. I was told he did get banned for this. Hopefully that is true. I'm sorry I did not manage to condense my story anymore, but thank you so much for reading.
Oh my
Girl,
goodness.
thank you so much for
That's
sending in your story.
traumatic.
People would
What is wrong with
the I
people?
remember one time when I got in trouble at this previous job
Mm-hmm.
because a customer was getting irate with my team and I
Mm-hmm.
asked her what was wrong. She said that what she was given was incorrect and that we shouldn't have new people running register or any of the other positions within the location of this business. And I looked at her and I said, "Ma'am, what do you want me to do? They're brand new. Everybody here is very brand new.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do everybody's job. You don't need to be rude to my kids like that."
What do people think happens with new people? Like, there's always going to be new people at any place. Like,
Right. Maybe you should look
how do you
at the
think the
reason
world
why the
works, man?
turnover
People don't
looks.
just magically. Oh, the funny thing, and this is such a millennial thing, like, or, well, even probably for Gen Zers, but like, you apply to a job and it wants you to have experience, but it's an entry level job. I'm pretty sure, like, people like that must just assume that, like, you always have 10 plus years of experience somewhere. Like,
Oh,
because it's
yeah.
just like, I swear sometimes there are certain people in society and groups of people who think that that's, like, magically always a thing.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally impossible. People are such idiots sometimes.
Yes.
I'm
And
sorry.
especially if you're going to a specific establishment consistently for a significant amount of time and you've noticed that the every time that you go in there's always a new person, maybe it should just click in your head, "Hey, obviously there's new people here. Not everything's going to be perfect because nobody can learn
Mm,
a job like that
mm,
overnight." And have a little bit more goddamn respect and be fucking nice
yeah.
people.
Be fucking nice. Well, thank you for sharing your story with us.
Yes,
Glad that you're
thank
enjoying the
you.
podcast. We appreciate the positive feedback, and thank you for sharing your experience with Knife Guy. But I am also sorry that you had that experience because that is honestly it's terrifying. Like, let's be real. The
Yeah,
person had a weapon.
yeah. If you're getting physically aggressive like that in a public place,
Mhm.
I would hate to see how you get at
In
home.
private. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm. Yeah. Well, I have a few here. We can
Okay.
go through these. So one says, I deliver appliances for Best Buy. We had a woman call and complain that her fridge was not pre-cooled before it was
Are
delivered
you
and that
fucking
she
kidding
had
me?
to wait for it to come down to temperature. That got one of the like Reddit awards for like one of the top ones in the Karen
You
threads.
have got to be kidding me.
I I mean, the person, I mean, I guess they could be lying, but okay, I'm just gonna be honest. I had an ex who did like delivery type stuff. I shit you not, this stuff happens. So I would actually believe
I
it.
I believe that it would happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
Yeah.
had when I used to work in food, I've had people that would pick up a pre-ordered item late and
Mhm.
then complain that it was cold. My food's cold. Well, it sat here for 30 minutes. Why isn't
You
it
took
still
2
hot?
hours to pick up your thing.
Yeah, my entire beverage looks melted. The ice is melted. It has sat there for a while.
Yeah, in the middle of July.
Fucking
Yeah,
idiots.
got pre-cool that fridge. All right, so here's a restaurant one. So this person is a server. They said today we were slightly busy just like any other day. I'm the manager though too, so I try to help the other servers with stuff. One of the servers had their table's food come up, so I took the few plates out to her. It was for a lady with her husband, her kid, and her mother. She had the short dyed Karen hairdo, and I just got a bad vibe about her. They said we need ketchup. I said, okay, 1 second. So I went back to get their plates and grabbed the ketchup, and when I come back, this bitch is standing in the server station helping herself to ketchup and stuff. She didn't even give me a chance to get it to her. Was like, you're not allowed back there. And she very nastily said, well, I just went back there. And I said, well, don't do it again. And by this time, she was back at her table and we were talking loudly in front of other patrons. She said, that's fine. I'll just talk to the manager. And I said, I am the manager. And
Ooh,
that
I
felt so
love
good.
pulling that card.
She shut up and didn't say another word for the whole time they were there. She also stiffed the other waitress, which I felt really bad about. So,
Don't,
uh,
okay, don't treat the person who is literally just taking your order and giving it to you like absolute shit if something is ever wrong. They're only in charge of
the
so
people who
much.
do that think that
The server's
servers
back there
servers are
cooking it.
servants.
Yeah.
Servers are not servants. Just a friendly reminder out there.
No.
I don't think our listeners are those types of people, so they don't need the
No.
reminder, but just a more friendly public PSA.
I believe in our following so far that they would not be those kinds of
Yeah, I
people.
feel like we have some pretty awesome people who listen.
I had
So I always
to.
feel bad when I say that. It's like it's not for our listeners. It's for just a general PSA. Anyone out there, like remember, your servers are not servants.
Yeah. Oh, and if you can't afford to tip at least 20%, then get takeout and tip 10% to the person who took your order.
Yes. However, I will say as much as I agree with that. I agree with that
Hmm.
and I prescribe to that in the United States because that's the way it works. I do wish that we didn't have to work that way in the first place though.
No.
I believe in a lot of European nations,
Yeah, you
they
don't tip
don't you
there.
don't tip there, but they also give basic rights and a living wage to their employees. So huge differences.
Yeah. Well, that classes system is
Let's be
not
real.
heavy over there like
Correct.
it is here.
Yes. Like, do
And
you have to rely on tips to survive, kind of thing?
right.
Yeah. Which is, it shouldn't have to be that way in the first place. That's all I mean. So this one says, this one made me laugh really hard when I first copied it over here. So 5 minutes before closing, a woman comes in and is so angry that we don't have any decaf. She demands to speak to the manager. I tell her that's me because I'm the only one here, and the coffee pots are clean for the night because it's 5 minutes to close. No, I'm sorry, I can't make another pot just for her. There's another place around my corner. She screams at me, tells me she's going to find a real manager and get my slut ass fired.
Hell
There's
yeah.
hell yeah, we love a
Hell
good
yeah.
slutty ass. You know what? If someone's gonna call you that, you strut your slutty ass, okay?
Yes.
Yes,
Lift
honey.
that apron, girl.
Yeah. She throws half a cup of cappuccino machine sludge at me and starts to look like she's gonna jump the counter. I'm holding a hammer under the counter thinking, don't do it. Don't do it. I pick up the phone like I'm going to call the cops, so she leaves. I lock the door. She comes back and runs face first into the glass door like a bird.
Ooh, I fucking love when karma
Gosh, I
gets
love the
them that
fucking
quick.
karma. That was just picturing that. Like,
I used to work at a place that would sell both caffeinated and decaf
mm-hmm.
beverages.
Mm-hmm.
and I decafed so many people. So many people. We had one lady.
Karma.
We had one lady because you're gonna be rude to me. Well, I'm not gonna give you
You're
your
gonna
your
put them into
fucking caffeine.
withdrawal.
Yes, we had one lady that came in and told one of the coworkers that I had, and goes, so and so came in the other day and you weren't working, and she said that her coffee tasted different, and I made it, and I remembered that you always
Mm-hmm.
decaf her, and she said it didn't taste bad, it was just different. So that meant that I had been decaffing her for so long that she thought that my decaf beverage that I kept giving her was the
Mm-hmm.
new normal. And then when she ended up getting her actual beverage, she didn't even recognize it anymore because she yelled at me several years
Oh
prior to that incident
gosh.
over something that was completely out of my control.
Wow.
Call me petty mayonnaise,
Karma.
honey. Petty mayonnaise.
Karma. The
I am
petty
white and
mayo.
petty as fuck.
When I worked at a bakery, Karen bought a chocolate cupcake and ate half of it. Karen then asked if she could return her half eaten chocolate cupcake, not because she didn't even like it, but because she wanted to exchange it for half of a vanilla cupcake, something less decadent. Like most bakeries, we do not sell cupcakes by the half. She became offended when I asked if she wanted to purchase the vanilla cupcake.
I feel like I've seen that.
That is hilarious,
I feel like
though.
I've seen that in a TikTok reel. But I think I wonder if maybe the girl
Mm.
that made the video was taking complaints
Oh,
and
maybe.
creating a story out of it,
Maybe.
because I feel like I've heard this story multiple times, unless there are that many Karens out there going out and complaining about um
I
wanting
also
wanting to exchange half a muffin, a
that does
cupcake.
actually bring up an interesting point though. There has been like different like more of like stupid trends. Like we know like just as much as there's funny trends out there, there's also really stupid ones and ones that promote toxicity or being basically like a toxic person or like a Karen or whatever you want to call them, right? But there was like something I remember a long time ago, maybe like very early TikTok and like Reddit and stuff about Bath and Body Works, where like you could take like the pretty much almost completely gone candle, and there was like this rumor that basically if you return the candle, like the candle holder, right, like that
Mm.
the candle melted through, that you could return that and get a new one.
Oh,
And like I remember literally going to Bath and Body Works and there were like really
so you're holding
young
your hand.
teenage girls like so it was like very much like I swear it was like a TikTok trend because I feel like it was around 2020 and there were these like young girls like trying to push the employees to like, give them like free candles and I'm like, guys, please don't do this, like come on,
Yeah.
the like can we just not, this is ridiculous. It just reminded me of that because the half-eaten cupcake, like really, really.
Also, guys, I don't care if it's a fucking TikTok trend. I don't care if you want to get likes. I don't care if you want to get more fucking follows. Don't subject people in the service industry or any customer
Oh yeah,
service
to like
industry.
ridiculous shit.
Don't subject them to your content. The amount of people that would come into X establishment and taking videos of us, and I'd be like, I'm not consenting to this video. Well, you don't be
Mm-hmm.
such a sour puss. I'm not going to be some monkey for you to play with me like I'm a marionette doll
Well,
so that
yeah.
you can get likes
Again,
on a video.
servers, not servants.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. I'm just here trying to make some fucking
yeah,
dollars so I can go to therapy, bro. I don't need you
yeah,
to I don't need you to treat me like that.
yeah,
Fuck off.
yeah.
God, I'm so happy I don't ever have to fucking deal with that ever again. Now, I as a hairdresser, I do still have to deal with some interesting people, but at least because I work for
Like me.
myself. Guys, I did Heather's hair on
I
Sunday,
fucking love
and
it.
I didn't cry. I didn't recognize. I noticed that when you left, I was like, "Wow, Heather and I had an appointment together, and neither one of us cried."
That's because we cry to each other on different days
I
now.
know. Now we cry on
Well,
Fridays.
now we cry on Fridays. It's like we always wear pink on what is it?
And we
What is
wear
it?
pink on Wednesdays.
Wednesdays. Yeah, we always cry on
We cry on
Fridays.
Fridays.
One day while I was manning the registers with a few other coworkers of mine, I had a nosebleed right as I was finishing a transaction. I grabbed a tissue and quickly excused myself to run to the restroom so I could try to get it to stop the bleeding. This meant that I couldn't say goodbye to Karen and give the little spiel about how I was oh so grateful for her shopping with us. Bringing up that point that you made earlier, right?
Yes.
Anyways, after about 10 minutes, I was finally able to get my nose back under control and headed back to the registers. I saw her waiting to the side with a scowl on her face, arms crossed over her chest, the whole 9 yards. She proceeded to scold me on how rude I was for not saying goodbye to her. After I apologized and explained that I had an unexpected nosebleed, she told me I should have tried holding it in and that the customer comes
Bitch.
first.
No.
Oh, like here. Okay, so instead, like here, like let me have my nose bleed all over you. Hope you had a good
Right.
day. Bye.
Thank you so very much. Also, if you have never or don't currently work for the company that I am working for, I don't need you to tell me how to do my job
Yeah,
or how to take care of you as a consumer.
man. If there's any healthcare professionals listening, they'd appreciate you saying that.
Okay, so
So many healthcare people are like, can we like we would love to have that sort of feeling back. We're tired of being told.
right, because everybody is a TikTok diagnosis.
Google, yeah, Google Doctor.
Yeah. Um
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't like to comment on that too much because it's hard. I think in this country you have to be very much your own advocate because healthcare it does not actually keep human beings in mind as patients very well, and I can say that working in healthcare that like I don't think the system as a whole in this country and I'm sure there are pluses and minuses in all other countries too, but still like it, there's there's not equality between different systems. There's not equality in how people get treated and get diagnosed for things, and there are those that have to advocate for themselves even more than others, and I think that that's important.
yeah.
But there's also crossing a line with like belligerence and again being like actually toxic towards the person who is actually trying to help you and take care of you and
Right.
figure out what you have, and they still have a job to do, and
Right.
they also went to school for many years to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
um Not that that necessarily makes them a better person, just that they're in their role,
Yeah.
also let them do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's different lines there in gray areas, right? But
Correct.
it's hard. I have a hard time commenting on that, but just especially in the 2020 realm
Oh
and
yeah.
post that, I think healthcare professionals listening to this podcast definitely appreciate hearing the yeah, can you please just let us do our job, please,
Speak a little
please let
louder
us
for the
do our
back.
job.
Also, everybody, let's have a little bit of a Robin Hood mentality, okay? Take care of the people who really need it,
Yeah.
not the rich. If
Yeah,
anything,
extra focus on people who actually need it.
yeah. So, Heather, have you ever worked in before we let everyone go, have you
Hmm.
ever worked in retail customer service?
Yes. Yes, I have. Yes.
How long did you last?
2 years, but that's also because I got into my stuff in school.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where was it
I,
at?
hmm?
Where was it at?
Aeropostale.
Aeropostale! What year?
Yeah.
What 2 years did you work there? I wonder if it was the time that I was a customer.
Like 2007
Yup.
or 8 through like
Yup.
2009, 10-ish time.
Yup. That was when I was a customer. The only time I
Yeah.
was ever a customer at Aeropostale.
Yeah, they like redid their things. Do you remember like okay when we were younger they used to have like the different like animals on like
Hmm.
things, like there was like a little mouse and there was like a little monkey and stuff, and they like rebranded and they were kind of like another like they were always like younger and they like rebranded themselves to be kind of like more affordable but like somewhat comparable to like American Eagle, and then both of those were like okay but they're still not like Abercrombie,
Right. I
whatever.
like
I just
girls that
like
wear Abercrombie and Fitch. Chinese food makes
makes
me
me
sick.
sick.
I
I
like
think
girls
that's-
that
Oh
say
my god,
born
I
for the
can't.
summer. For the summer.
Do you might I think one of my biggest memories from that was getting told to smile. That
Ugh.
I
Oh
literally had
God.
men come up to me and say, "Oh, you're so beautiful, gorgeous. You're not. How come you're not smiling today? Like, why don't you
Fuck
smile?
off.
Oh, are you having like not having as good of a day today? Like, why don't you smile? You look so pretty." Yeah.
When I was at
Not even kidding. Not even kidding. And multiple times. Multiple freaking times.
when I was at Business X, I had a customer call to make a complaint, and I dealt with her in one specific area. I answered the phone. She goes, "Oh, who is this?" And I said, This is me. I'm the supervisor in charge." And she
Mhm.
goes, "Oh, well, you just sound a lot like the guy that I just interacted with earlier." And I was like, "Okay, that probably was me. What can I do for you?" And then she was like, "Your attitude is just so poor. I used to work for that company. You know, if you just put a smile on your face, you'll eventually get over whatever it is that's bothering you so much."
Oh God.
Honey, it's
Oh.
I I yes, you are correct. I was not smiley, I was not chippy, I was not cheery. Who goes out into the world and expects anybody working in customer service to be in a chippy cheery mood anymore these days? Only people who treat you like servants and the older generations who don't understand what that
Yeah.
career looks like for them
Very
anymore.
and yeah, and misogynist.
Yes,
Like, cuz
misogynists.
for me, I to be very honest with you, when I was working there, I honestly, because I was also only part-time, I was decently like happy and like I enjoyed wearing the clothes at the time and like it was something different than like all my stuff in college.
Yeah.
Like, so it was something to like just do something different, not that it was easy and like not that I didn't deal with like terrible things or like annoying things. So it's like I was actually generally like pretty happy like overall and would like walk around and try to help people. Like I was an active employee. I still wanted to be a good employee because that's
Mhm.
how I am as a person. And like so for like then these men to walk up to me and be like, "You're not smiling enough" or something. I'm like, "First of all, okay, so you're watching me. Second of all, like
Mhm.
what?" Yeah, it was more it was because it implied more of a creepiness.
Right. Well, so there is a meme on Facebook where it's like, "Have you ever worked in customer? What is working in customer service like?"
Mhm.
And when you're like, "Hi there, how are you today?" and someone's like, "Well, my father died when I was 3 years old." It's like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that. Thank you so much. You know, sometimes when someone asks you how you're doing,
Yeah.
it's just to fill the air. They don't really want to
Wanna
know.
know. Yeah, and unfortunately I can't give you an extra 50% off because of that either.
Yeah, and I don't
Like
have it in the back. And if I tell you that there's a shortage on
okay, we
something,
sometimes had stuff in the back though.
well,
We actually did, but I was always very honest about that. I was like, yes, our store does sometimes have that. Let me check for you. Or I would be honest and be like, right now, no, we don't have anything left in the back. It
if
depends on the store, right? Like, not every place is like that, though.
yeah, and don't ask me to call other stores to figure it out. Don't
Oh.
ask me why another location is closed. Don't ask me when they're
And
going to be
calling other
open.
stores, God damn it,
Call
go
yourself.
online or fucking call yourself.
Yes.
We are not in that day and age anymore. We do not like this isn't like Sears where you order out of the fucking catalog anymore,
Do you remember
okay?
those days?
Dude, I do, and I remember there was like so many toys in there that I'd want all
My
the time.
mother would never buy me the toys, but she would always buy me the winter coats.
Oh
I remember her like
yes.
taking measurements of me and then saying, "Okay, we're gonna get X amount of sizes bigger so you can grow
Yes.
into it." And then that coat would last me like 2 or 3
Dude, and then
years.
you wore like a coat that was like 5 sizes too big. I had that. And then
Yes.
because I lived in Buffalo, New York, okay, that's like a traumatic memory, but I always felt like really weird because we used to have to wear our Halloween costumes over our
Hmm.
coats. So then like you've got this
But
puffy
mom, I
ass
want people to see how
five
cool I am.
size too big
Yeah.
coat and then you have to get like an XXXL like Halloween costume to fit over it
Yeah.
and it was just a mess. It was a mess. I know I said I feel like a lumpy marshmallow when I was like not feeling good, but let me just tell y'all, I felt like a lumpy marshmallow as a kid on Halloween with the
Oh
oh
man.
man,
Oh,
totally.
Jinx, Jinx, one of us is gonna die. We have to. We have to. Well, how do you break the curse?
What? I don't even know about this curse.
Yeah, when you and somebody else say something at the same time.
What? You
Sometimes I
just
don't
say
know.
jinx.
Okay, Jinx. Well, I said it
Live in
100
the
times.
gray area. It's okay.
I'm superstitious,
I know.
okay?
Superstitious.
Uncut gems and
Super
things
tit.
like that.
Superstitious.
That one's for my baby out there. I love you so much,
Oh
even though you're upstairs
goodness.
right now.
Superstitious.
Anyway, okay, we are really diverting, which is very on brand. That's fine.
We love y'all.
We love you
We're having
guys.
fun
We do
tonight.
have
It's
to
been a
go.
stressful day.
I'm hungry. It's yeah. Maybe next week we can tell you what broke while
I
we're in the
just
office.
yeah. Oh goodness. I love our audience. I love our listeners. Complete.
Complete. She goes, come. Were you gonna say our finishing line? Come be typically divergent with us on social media.
Am I not gonna be able to say this end sentence anymore because you made it like that? What am I supposed to say instead? Arrive?
She said, arrive.
Arrive with us at Facebook.
Because that meme where it's like people in Britain be like, instead of saying I'm coming, I'm arriving.
I have arrived.
I have arrived. Yes.
We're as we finish.
This is the end of the episode. We
The
can't.
happy ending.
I'm sorry, I just hit the microphone.
I can't.
Well, folks, that's another.
We
This is us
being real with y'all.
being real dongs. Just a couple of dinks, double income, no kids.
Uh,
You're officially a dink now with you and Spencer because he's got a job now.
oh. Oh, I'm an honorary dink. I feel so
let me dub thee honorary dink.
Y'all, I'm gonna lean over and he's gonna like instead of a sword, just use a dildo.
A dildo.
Dildo.
I have a double-headed dildo upstairs.
Oh my
You want me to use
goodness.
that one?
I don't know, do I?
It's clean. It's clean. All of this is staying. This is all staying in the episode.
Well, I don't even know what to say for people to well, get your asses on over.
Yeah, girls, get your asses off.
To Facebook. To our Facebook group. If you'd like to
Be a part of a community.
yes, this lovely mature community.
That's a typical gangbang of folks out there in our group page. We're also on Instagram.
Ah, yes, Instagram.
We're also excuse me.
OnlyFans. Just kidding.
Maybe we should do that.
OnlyFans and Tumblr.
Instead of if you guys like us
Feet
enough
pics.
where you want us to if you guys like us enough where you want additional content and if we do like a Patreon subscription or something instead of Patreon we could just do OnlyFans. I mean no we're completely clothed. I mean I'll show you my feet. Her feet are exposed tonight. I wear socks.
Feet pics. You never know what kind of we don't kink shame, but
No, we don't. I would prefer somebody to be like, I want you to spit into a bag, a Ziploc bag, and then send it to me. Like, okay,
yeah.
that's easier than showing you my
Here's a
ugly
picture of my
toes.
foot. Honestly, I will give you a picture of my foot. I don't even care.
She's out here giving free feet.
It's a fucking foot. No, that's what I'm saying though. Like that doesn't bother me because it's just like it's my foot. Like,
Oh, speaking of a woman selling off, not even selling, just giving away her her feet.
Give me
Her feet away. Women don't sleep their way to the top. Men in power take advantage of women.
Mm.
Okay, so we have to finish this episode. We
Yes,
love
we're
you
finishing.
guys. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Typically Divergent Podcast. If you have any
Finding. That's a good word. That's the
finding,
Finally, we've come to the.
she has
Find us.
arrived.
Get your ass over. I was like trying to think of a different word. I couldn't think of one.
Um,
Uh,
uh, um, what were we?
Instagram, Facebook, all
Instagram,
the thingies.
Facebook. Um, everything that we talked about today will be in our description of this episode, where our link tree is, where you can reach out to us and talk to us, please. We would love to hear from you guys and gals, theys, and thems. Um, I do want to leave off with a little something, though. One more thing before we sign off.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the term lighten their loafers means?
You said that at one point in a different episode, and I don't remember.
So
Because it
it's an
seems like
old
an old
it's
person
an
saying.
it's an old term to say
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, that man's a little effeminate, a little fairy.
Oh.
So we were watching something the other day and I came up with the lesbian version of it, and I said it to a lesbian today and I asked her if she approved. She didn't say yes. So I need somebody who's a lesbian to approve of this. For lesbians, instead of being light in their loafers, they're heavy in their heels.
I like that. But I can't say whether I approve
Yeah.
or not. But I'd be curious to know.
Oh, thank God. Okay. All right, guys. We love you.
We love you.
Next week is going to be manifestations, and
Woo!
we hope you have a great Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Bitchin', Yule, Merry Christmas. Did I say that? Anyway,
All of it. All
all
of
of
it.
it.
I
All the
have tears down
holidays.
my face because I've been laughing so hard. So
Oh, good. I was
crying
going to
my
say,
whole mascara off my face.
well, it is Friday.
Friday,
Very on brand.
Friday, Fridays. Friday, Friday.
Yes.
uh,
We love you guys.
love you.
Bye.
Bye.